Hugo and I were planning to go to the art walk downtown and we're wondering if you would care to accompany us. I love art. Sigh? I turn around. Here's Joseph! Yay. Why did Damien invite you? I guess he's a nice person. And Hugo's coming. I guess this isn't really like a date or anything between Damien and me, but, you know. Kinda wish he just took me, but that's fine. I'm a jealous person. At the risk of sounding uninformed, do all of these landscapes look like butts to you guys? Serious question. Damien and Hugo lean in, examining the paintings in earnest. It would appear as if you are correct. I'm glad we're all thinking about butts here. Maybe you're underestimating how much the artists like butts. Joseph, come on, don't joke with Damien like that, but there's always that possibility. You are a servant of the Lord, Joseph. You have a wife. Me and Damien can think about butts all we want. Well, of course, you know, your wife has a butt, so I guess if, you know, you explore that, then you explore that. What about you, Sai? Art is money-making. Business, I know it sells. We finally get to the cul-de-sac. Nobody's gonna comment on it. Damien is super surprised. Joseph looks like a creep, and Hugo's just very understanding. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dream Daddy. Dream Daddy. So, it's time for our third date with Damien, which means that we're probably gonna be nearing the end of this game. You know what I'm saying? Nearing the end of the game, getting the dad of my dreams. It's gonna be great. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and click Damien. He lied. Alright, whatever. Alright, guys. Let's message Damien. You know what they say about third dates? They get pretty serious. You might not have time to browse dad book for a while. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I don't want to talk to anybody else. Let's go. Hey, there we go. Finally, loaded. Ever since we had that picnic in the graveyard, Damien and I have been spending a lot of time together. We go on nighttime strolls pretty regularly. I didn't know that. Why couldn't I see any of that? That'd be pretty cool. I wonder what kind of conversations we had during the night. He was so impressed with the first letter I wrote to him that he insisted we only communicate by post. Yes. Instead of through dad book, which kind of helps me out, considering apparently I'm a dad that doesn't know how to use technology. I initially protested, but he gave me one of his old signet rings. Oh, yay! To use as a seal for my letters, and I just couldn't say no. Hanging out with that goth dad again? Come on, Amanda. Please, Amanda, you know his name. And yes, I am. Be honest with me here, Pops. Is he actually a vampire? I remember you inviting him into our household that one time, and I've seen The Lost Boys, and I honestly would have preferred trying to see if he could have walked through the threshold of our home under his own power. Interesting, that would have been... Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's... Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's familiar, and I am compelled under his curse. I'm sorry, sweetie. Turn into a bat. Do it. Do it now. I don't think...
Dad.
What's the point of being a vampire if you can't turn into a bat? Well, okay, I'm off. Are you taking the car, or are you flying off into the night on the leathery wings of a bat? One of those. While I'm out, can you throw away the garlic bread that's in the freezer so I don't die? That would be great. Sounds like something I'd do. I'm keeping it there as insurance. You understand, right? Come on, Amanda. That's my girl. Oh, okay, well, I'm impressed. She knows. Oh. Damien and I walk along the water's edge, chatting. Damien's cloak. He hates it when people call it a cape. Damien's cloak flutters behind him in the breeze. This is gonna seem like a silly question, but why do goths wear black? Gothic subculture has always been associated with death, so it would make sense that the style surrounding it would be greatly influenced by mourning. Interestingly enough, though, was that in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria herself mourned the death of her late husband for 10 whole years, wearing black for the rest of her life. If that's not goth, I don't know what it is. I have another question.
Oh.
Go ahead. He seems happy and impressed by my questions. How are you so comfortable with death? You mentioned it in the graveyard that it helps you appreciate your life or something.
Oh no.
I've experienced several losses over the course of my life, and I truly believe the only manageable way to cope with it is to accept that death is simply just a part of living. It's the single universal truth for every human who has ever lived. I'm going to die. You're gonna die, and life carries on without us. That's true. Doesn't that make you feel scared? Some people are scared of death. I'm partially scared of death. Only in the fact that, like, I really don't know what happens. Also don't know how I'm gonna die. So, death's a little scary. It's saddening. But, you know, not at all. Without the advances of modern science, death was everywhere in the Victorian era, and yet funerals were major social functions. Victorians were obsessed with mementos of their loved ones, even going so far as to take elaborately staged photographs of their dead relatives. I remember that. I remember seeing, like, old black and white photos of people who would take pictures with, like, their dead relatives and stuff, like, right after they died. So they had something, to kind of remember them by. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, an old photograph of, like, somebody and, like, they're holding a baby maybe, and the baby's eyes are entirely closed. It might mean that the baby didn't survive. As well as, like, husbands, wives. Some of them even had their eyes open, which is kind of weird. I don't know how they did that, considering, but yeah.
Oh.
The minutiae? I hate that I don't know how to say that word. Of mourning was so complex that there were set periods of grieving that were deemed acceptable based on who in your life had passed. Now we don't have any of that. If you lose someone, you end up feeling lost yourself because we have no modern equivalent of those formalities. We need to allow ourselves time to grieve, to feel that loss fully, but not allow it to consume us. My job gives me 3 days after a death. And if the funeral isn't in those 3 days, I have to schedule those 3 days for the funeral and viewing. And I'm sure that's probably how it is in a lot of different places. I mean, I like my job, and I've only had to, do that once, but they gave me the time off that I needed because I had PTO at the time, but, like, people don't give you time to grieve anymore. If you've got a full-time job, they're not gonna give a shit about you. Usually, anyways. They don't care. They're like, oh, if you don't come in after your 3-day grievance, then that's just a problem. And it's also like they got borders of who you're allowed to have a grievance for. Like, if it's not immediate family, sometimes they don't let you have the grievance time. Like, if your cousin passed away, nope, Doesn't count. Back to the game. Sorry, guys. So, no, I'm not afraid of death. I believe it is a waste to spend your life dreading the end of it. Well, that's true. I do agree with that. The time we have here is brief and fleeting and occasionally cruel, but it is at all times precious. To stare death in the face and live despite that, I think it's a noble existence. Let's save the morning for the dead. Why are you so cool? Wow, that's beautiful. I can see the moonlight in the bay glint off of Damien's eyes. He smiles. We turn to the harbor and watch ships pass, breathing in the salty sea air. I look to Damien again, and I can't help but be entranced by his charm, his mystery. I find everything about him so fascinating. I lean in closer to Damien, closing my eyes as I do so. Yay.
Huh.
I'm so sorry I have to take his phone. It's his phone again. If Lucien did something, I swear. Damien steps away from me to answer his phone. Oh no. Oh no. I hope it isn't Lucien again. See, my character knows. Sai knows. After speaking in hushed tones for a few moments, Damien returns to me. Is everything okay?
Oh my.
There's an emergency. Oh no. Oh my. There was a lot of oh my's in that. That's concerning. Look at his face. He's extremely worried. Lucien?
Huh.
No, thankfully, but I must take my leave. Oh, so it's not Lucien. So then what's wrong? Okay. Is there anything I can do to help? You want me to come with you? What's the emergency? What's going on?
Huh.
Dads do have to stick together, right? Yes, take me with you. Take me with you. You know it. Then come. There isn't much time to waste. Why do we take my car? His car's got to be so much better than this one. This is insane. After a short drive in silence, we arrive at a rundown building on the outskirts of town. Where are we? It's better if I just show you. Where the are we? This looks like it's a doctor's office. Oh wait, there's kennels! I push the surprisingly heavy door open and find myself in a dimly lit waiting room. A few rickety chairs line the walls, and there doesn't seem to be anyone behind the front desk. There are a few paintings and pictures on the wall, but there are no nondescript. I'm still unsure of what kind of place this even is, but I see kennels. Are we in a vet's office? Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back. Why is this like in a bad alleyway? There's even dog gates. Damien walks off down a corridor, his boot heels echoing through the halls of the seemingly empty building. Distant howls echo someplace I can't see, and there's a faint scratching sound, like claws on tiles. See, it's got to be a vet's office. I cautiously peek down the hall and find a stall after stall of scared-looking dogs. Aw. Few of them notice me and skitter up to the chain-link fence, sticking their noses through to sniff the air. That's sad. What have I got myself into? It's gotta be a kennel or a vet's office or something. So suddenly the lights shut off. I panic, unsure of where I am or how I can get out. I stumble through the darkness, my breathing getting heavier and heavier. Damien? The lights finally turn back on. Oh, it's you. I could have screamed, but I didn't. That was a weird noise that just happened in my room. Did you cause that? Mary. Hey, sailor. Mary, what are you doing here?
Come on.
You aren't here for the fight club? There's a fight club? I don't want to get punched in the face.
Ah.
Great, because this is an animal shelter. I thought so. Well, I thought it was a vet's office, but, you know. What? We take care of stray animals, and then people adopt the stray animals. Didn't you see the pets when you walked in? Oh, sorry, I didn't really expect to see you volunteering at an animal shelter. I guess she is supposed to be a woman of God or something, but still.
Give it a rest, buddy. Ugh.
Give it a rest, buddy. I don't like you. Okay, kid. Way to put me in a box. Dames, you hear this baloney? Dames? Who do you think you are? Just one moment. Thunder cracks and a door bursts open, appearing from the shadows I see. Damien? What? Huh. I like the ponytail. He looks weird in a polo though. But I glasses? Damien. Oh my gosh. He's nervous. Hey. It's Damien. He looks completely different. No cloak, no Victorian era clothing, no makeup. I wasn't planning to share this side of me until much later, but I'm not as goth as you think. I'm a systems administrator for the IT department of a realty company. Of a realty company? That's what well, I guess it explains how he was able to pay for everything. I wear tennis shoes to work and I listen to Bruce Springsteen. I enjoy going to the hardware store and looking at storage solutions, and I volunteer at this animal shelter in my spare time. Damien. You're not, no, you are not boring. How dare you say that about yourself? How dare you, Damien? I'm fascinated with Victorian history and the golf lifestyle. That much is true. It's just not all that I am, and I need you to know that. Oh, I
Hey.
hate to kill the moment here, but there's some pressing business that needs attending to. Oh, right. It's Duchess Cordelia. Again? Who's Duchess Cordelia? She's one of the pups, gets out all the time. She somehow learned how to open doors and now she's unstoppable. Oh, that is kind of problematic. When did she get out?
Hey.
This morning, I went to go sing sea shanties to the cats, and when I came back, she'd already bolted. I have to stay here with the pets, so I need you two to go and find her. Of course. Where could she be? She always ends up running off to the same places. Here, let me draw you a map. You think she can draw me a map? Like, seriously? Mary starts scribbling on the back of a pet adoption form. It's probably not going to be very good. She's very smart, ruthless even. You need to stay on your toes and get her back by sundown, or else she turns into a werewolf and starts eating people. What? You're a perfect little peach sigh. Thank you. We just don't want her stuck outside when it's cold. Yeah, I can understand that. I'm not an idiot. Oh. I'll grab some treats and we can hit the road. Yeah, we'll find a dog. Damien and I look over the map Mary created for us.